Hello everyone, welcome back to the Pihoa Network, where we explore the post-independence history of Africa. I am your host, Lilian Wambura, and today we are exploring the fascinating history of Eswatini, often called the Kingdom of Eswatini or Africa's Switzerland, due to its stunning mountainous landscapes and neutrality in international conflicts. The Kingdom of Eswatini is a landlocked country to the east of South Africa. It is almost entirely surrounded by the larger country, but also shares an eastern border with Mozambique. Eswatini is mountainous in the west, dropping via uplands and valleys to lowlands in the east. Until 2018, it was known as the Kingdom of Swaziland. In 1860, the Swazi nation under the leadership of King Mswati II was established beyond the current Eswatini boundaries. Over the next 40 years, it experienced a lot of changes due to competition from both Boers and British imperialists. The discovery of diamonds and gold in South Africa drew a lot of interests. By 1890, a lot of land had been signed away as concessions for mineral rights. Later, a triumvirate between British, South African government as well as representatives of Swazi formed a provisional government. Eventually, in 1894, the administration affairs of Swaziland were put under the Transvaal Republic. In 1899, the Anglo-Boer War broke out while Swaziland was under South African administration. During the same period, Swazi leader Ngwane V died. Following the victory of the British at the end of the war in 1902, changes in administration were implemented. Swaziland became a British protectorate in 1903. In 1921, Sobhuza II took over from the Queen Regents. Requests to transfer Swaziland back to South Africa were declined by the British. This was especially so with the emergence of apartheid South Africa in 1948. Political activity for self-determination intensified in the 1960s. Traditional Swazi leaders formed the Imbok-Divo National Movement (INM) in 1964. This party favored conservative Swazi traditions. The party won all seats in the 1964 elections. A pro-independence constitution for the country was introduced in 1966. Election followed in 1967, and the country became an independent monarchy on 6 September 1968. King Sobhuza II became the first post-independence head of state. He comes from Dlamini dynasty, which forms the royal family. The first post-independence election was held in 1972. Several parties contested against the pro-monarchy party, which goes against cultural norms. The INM received 3/4 of the votes. A strong showing by the opposition led King Sobhuza to repeal the constitution in 1973 and dissolve parliament. He usurped all powers and ruled by decree. A new parliament was chosen through indirect elections in 1979 and approved by the king. Sobhuza died in 1982 as the longest reigning monarchy, creating a power vacuum. A power struggle within the royal family followed, and leadership was held by the Queen Regent until the installation of King Mswati III in 1986. During the power struggle, the nation had been under the Supreme Traditional Advisory Board, which advised the Queen Regent. The new king started off by abolishing the advisory body. A new parliament was elected in 1987, followed by appointment of a new cabinet. The 1980s witnessed two main challenges. On the social front was the emergence of the human immune virus, HIV. Eswatini first reported its case in 1986, which grew steadily to the highest prevalence in the world. There was also the political problem of apartheid South Africa. Although Eswatini claimed to be non-aligned, it was pro-Western. During early 1980s, it harassed members of liberation movements from South Africa. It also helped South Africa to circumvent international sanctions. A quiet discussion was also mooted about the transfer of Swazi territory under South Africa to Swaziland. Mswati's rule was autocratic and riddled with corruption, resulting in pressure to implement democratic reforms. A decade of protest led him to appoint a committee to draft a new constitution in 2001. Following consultation, he signed a revised edition which was promulgated in 2006, which neither banned nor acknowledged the existence of political parties. On 19th of April 2018, Mswati announced the intended change of name from Kingdom of Swaziland to Kingdom of Eswatini. This was to coincide with 50 years of independence. The new name will be in line with Swazi language. As conservative society, various traditional ceremonies are observed with pomp. The government incorporates a modern and traditional system, and the king approves legislation. A prime minister who would also be Dlamini heads the government. In a nation of high prevalence of polygamy, many subjects have a relationship with the royal family. Almost a third of the population are Dlamini. Eswatini, alongside Morocco, remain the two absolute monarchies in Africa, even as most traditional monarchies have been reduced to vassal states. The situation seems to experience little change in the foreseeable future. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the post-independence history of Eswatini. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Pihoa Network for more fascinating stories from across Africa. Thank you.